After months and months of dragging, praying and hoping that Manchester United will sign a striker in this summer transfer window, ladies and gentlemen, finally it is happening. The date, the day, the time and the moment, the occasion has been set for the unveiling of Rasmus Hojlund, the next striker to storm the biggest football club in the world. I will also tell you about the situation concerning Sofian Amrabat, because there are some setbacks, but don't you be worried about them. I'm going to brief you up as well about the friendly game United is playing ahead of the return of the English Premier League. It's an action-packed Friday. My name is Webb. Welcome to the hotspot, and let's get proper into it. Subscribe as I do continue banning you with all the latest concerning Manchester United, starting off with the man himself, that is Rasmus Hojlund. He's set to be unveiled tomorrow after everything has been done. The deal was completed. He has put pen to that paper. He has already signed a contract of 5 years with an option of extending it by a further 1 year, meaning he is in the long-term plans of the club. Erik Ten Hag meant business and meant every bit of it when he said he's thinking long-term, and long-term never gets longer and better than Rasmus Hojlund for Manchester United, at least not for now. So it is going to be happening before that game, that friendly game at Old Trafford against Lens. Manchester United will have that moment to unveil the biggest signing, the best striking prospect in global football today, that is Rasmus Hojlund, to what is expected to be a decent crowd that will be watching that friendly game that is counting us down to the return of the English Premier League. The league is returning this month, and we are just days away, guys. Forget about the frustrations you had. Focus on this return, and guess what? We will get to see Rasmus Hojlund in a Manchester United jersey in front of the home supporters for the first time. That will be happening. 64 million pounds is what Manchester United will pay, and add on 8 million pounds in add-ons to make it 72. Now the talkers, the big talkers, have been talking big, saying that is too much money for Rasmus Hojlund, but certainly Erik Ten Hag will not care. Man United supporters should not care, because this is what we've always wanted: a striker to come and boost the attack if we are going to match Manchester City, and it is tomorrow, the D-Day, that is happening. Now, moving on away from Rasmus Hojlund, who is going to be earning decent wages. We'll talk more about those tomorrow after his unveiling. Let me talk a bit too about the situation with Sofian Amrabat. Now, I do know for a fact that many of us do want to see Sofian Amrabat come through at Man United. The player himself wants to join Manchester United, but guys, the issue is that we are a bit slowed down by the sale of Fred and Donny van de Beek, and the first official bid for Manchester United to table for Sofian Amrabat will come from the sale of Fred and Donny van de Beek. The approach is that you sell players in a department and then sort it, because I told you what Manchester United had initially was about 120 million pounds to spend in the transfers. Now, after signing Mason Mount, Andre Onana, and now Rasmus Hojlund, there is no money left. In fact, even Hojlund's money will include top-ups collected from everywhere else. So to now sign other players in Sofian Amrabat and later on a centre-back, if we will sign any, we've got to sell players in those departments they play if we are going to post them. Now that's where we are now. The expectation was that by the end of this week, Fred and Donny van de Beek would be long gone, but the talks between Galatasaray and Real Sociedad for the two players respectively are taking big twists, different twists in left, right and center from both the clubs that want the players, but also the players themselves. They don't seem to be decided on where exactly they want to go. Perhaps it is believed they are holding out for better deals to come through from Saudi Arabia if they are going to make some bigger money for themselves, especially Fred. Remember, both of these players are still contracted with the club, and they have got, of course, first refusal. You can't just get rid of them, because you've got to handle them nice so that they accept to go and you make money out of them. So that's the situation why we are slowed down when it comes to Sofian Amrabat. But there is hope and belief that Fred and Donny van de Beek will go for some fee, and the fees will be paid, and when that is happened is done, rather, we will see bids made and tabled, or the first bid, or perhaps even the only bid tabled for Sofia and Amrabat. That's the situation that is going on. Sell to buy is where we are at as Manchester United. Now, I did tell you and inform you that we do have that friendly game tomorrow against Lens. It's an important friendly game, but even before I talk about that friendly game, guys, you do want to watch this one. It's at Old Trafford. It's during day. It's, I think, about 2:45 p.m. We will be here for it, for a watch along. We should enjoy it together. But guys, let me tell you this. I've had people say, you know, that Manchester United's boss Erik Ten Hag is under pressure to deliver, and I'm thinking, is that news, guys? Is that news? By the very nature of being a football manager, it's a pressure job. I don't think there are so many pressure jobs in the world than that. Being a manager in itself is a pressure job, but now being a manager of a football club is even more pressure. Now, being a manager of the biggest football club in the world is obviously no brainer. It's always going to be a high pressure job, more so at a time like this when Manchester United is rebuilding, after trying out with so many managers with even bigger profiles than Erik Ten Hag, who failed, who struggled and failed to assert themselves and get results. The Jose Mourinho's, the Louis van Gaals, and United has been spending a lot of money all through this time. Obviously, it is always going to be a pressure job for Erik Ten Hag if he's given more than 120 million pounds to buy players, and is given the money he needs to buy Mason Mount, who was overpriced. We paid a little more for him because the manager wanted him. United, I think it was a bargain in terms of Onana, credit to him, but he made changes to the club, let go of Cristiano Ronaldo. He did let go of David De Gea. They have given him money, more money. People are saying that Man United were ripped off when it came to the young man Rasmus Hojlund. So obviously, 62 million pounds, a total of 72 million pounds, is a lot of money for Rasmus Hojlund, a player who only scored 9 goals for Atalanta. So the pressure is always going to be there for Erik Ten Hag. It's not news. Is it bad? It's a good thing. If you're going to manage the biggest football club in the world, you've got to expect a certain level of pressure. But how you deal with it is what matters. And for me, I must say Erik Ten Hag has been impressive in dealing with that. With the press, we all know how British press is. Every decision you make is going to be scrutinized by the biggest flops in football. The anti-United supporters. Mika Richards will be there all over your face. Roy Keane, who doesn't take hostages. Gary Neville, name them. Carragher. So always the pressure is going to be there. More so now when the season starts, with the money that has been given to Erik Ten Hag, the pressure is going to be there because he has made signings that certain people are not sure they are the right signings. So obviously, and even with the takeover, and you know how United has been struggling and stuff, with all the money wasted on players who have been flops. So that will always be there. So it's not news. So guys, naysayers and everyone saying that Erik Ten Hag is under pressure, yes, it is okay for him to be under pressure. He has been all through his managerial time, and it's part of the game. For me, as United supporters, the onus is on us, for us now, I think, to protect the manager from that kind of pressure. We believe in what he's doing, because when you do not, because the biggest pressure that disorganizes managers, for me, comes from the fans actually. But if we rally behind what he's doing, because if you look at what Erik Ten Hag is doing, you see that it is a progressive project. For me, that's the beauty. That's where I have my confidence at, that it's a progressive project. Now, if we, the fans, rally behind him, for me, we would beat the naysayers together. The way we rallied, all United's faithful rallied behind Sir Alex Ferguson. And even when he was leaving, people are saying, man, we are still behind this man. So that's what you need. We need to rally behind Erik Ten Hag now, because we all see what he's pushing. The changes he has made have yielded results. The signings he's making, the way he's managing with the unsupportive Glazers. He wants Mason Greenwood back. They are not deciding. They are taking ages to decide on his return. But he will still persevere on, endure, and still get results. Get United third and back in the Champions League. So why not rally behind him, support him, and believe in what he's building, and we all push in the same direction, both stadium attending supporters, but also online supporters. Let's rally behind the manager so that we deliver the Manchester United we all want and hope for. So guys, are we under pressure? Is Ten Hag under pressure? Yes, but trust you me, this pressure is going to be transferred to Manchester City, to Arsenal, when the season starts, because let me tell you, we will mount some serious pressure with the Ten Hag ball, the Erik Ten Hag ball that has Andre Onana playing like the center back or a central midfielder. Guys, this switch of Ten Hag, forget about pressure. We will be mounting the pressure on these naysayers and their clubs. Rally behind the boss. Catch you later.